This is Hino's Sport, bringing you that heat and that fire. All right, y'all. This video is basically going to give two higgity fucking hushes of the damn day. We getting a double higgity hush going on. The first higgity hush goes to Shawn Gatekeeper Porter. That's his new nickname. Shawn Gatekeeper Porter. And the second higgity fucking hush of the day goes to Terrence Bud Light Crawford. Let me say it again. It's Terrence Bud Light Crawford. Here's the thing with boxing. It's the hurt business, folks. Max on boxing. Max Kellerman indirectly called Shawn Constipated Porter a gatekeeper when he said, "Are you the litmus test now for guys who wants to fight?" I'm glad Shawn Constipated Porter didn't have a constipated moment and caught that in his brain. You know what I'm saying? So I'll give him one-dimensional thinking ability with that one, because at least he caught it. You know what I'm saying? He didn't marinate it, and he didn't understand the fullness thereof of what Max Kellerman was trying to tell him. Let me rewind that, because it needs to marinate in the corpus callosum and in the cerebellum. Hear me? And hear me well. He didn't marinate it or understand the fullness thereof of what Max Kellerman was telling him, but he got it. So he gets credit for at least catching it. He basically said, "I'm not no litmus test. Don't put that title on me." What Max Kellerman was indirectly calling him was a gatekeeper, because that's what he is. Gatekeepers are guys that give you arduous fights, but they lose. Let me say it again. Gatekeepers are guys that give you an arduous fight. They're basically a litmus test. They're basically what we call a test, a barometer, right? And I think Max Kellerman been watching He Knows the Sport. Notice everybody keep using He Knows the Sport's saying, because who's the one that said litmus test, dog? Who's the one that's been saying this shit? Don't get it twisted. The main media be watching these YouTubers, dog. So y'all need to understand that. My sayings are floating all across everywhere. I got big YouTubers saying my sayings. I got small YouTubers saying my saying. Come on. Shout outs to Matthew Valentine. He always come back and report back to your boy He Knows the Sport. Let me know what time it is, dog. And I got the other He Knows the Sport birdies out there. They chirping. They let me know what time it is, dog. But anyways, on to the damn video, man. Shawn Constipated Porter is a gatekeeper. Terrence Bud Crawford is expiring on the shelf. They need to go ahead and duke it out. In boxing, it's the hurt business. You can't have two fighters here sitting here not doing anything but running their freaking mouths, getting slide to the damn mouths. Errol the True Spence finished your ass, Shawn Constipated Porter. He finished you, Shawn Gatekeeper Porter. You're done. You lost 9-3 rounds and be generous 8-4. I'm glad motherfuckers going back and watching the fight. And people that sitting here saying Danny Garcia is gonna, if he lands on Errol the True Spence, he gonna knock him out. He couldn't do that against Shawn Constipated Porter. So how you gonna do that against Errol the True Spence? Come on, man. Errol the True Spence showed you in the fight against Porter that he has a granite chin. He showed you that in the Emmanuel Lardy fight. He showed you that in the Kell Brook fight. So I'm not stunting this Danny cherry picking Garcia nonsense, man. And these folks that sit here saying, "Oh, do you understand about Danny Garcia and how Errol the True Spence can't let his hands down?" That's what people don't understand. I told you guys, Errol the True Spence is a hybrid. He's like the underworld. On the front foot, he has the Mexican come forward, refine, and perfected style. On the back foot, he already showed you the slickster style in the Mikey Garcia fight. That back foot style is coming back out. But he's going to ramp it up a bit, because he knows with Danny Garcia, you can't let him land flush. Anyways, I'll break down the game plan on how Errol the True Spence can dispatch that motherfucker effectively. I want Errol the True Spence to get back to the bone-crushing power, because once he gets back to that, he can get back to bulldozing cats effectively, appropriately, and efficiently. Let me say it again. He can get back to bulldozing cats effectively, appropriately, and efficiently. But let's talk about Shawn Gatekeeper Porter. That's what he is. He's a gatekeeper. So I don't know why Terrence Bud Light Crawford, that's expiring on the shelf over there on Top Rank, don't fight this gatekeeper. Let's see where your barometer's at. You didn't want to fight Kell Brook. And see people sitting here running this narrative saying, "Oh, Kell Brook had came back and said, I can't make weight anymore." And they, classic dope and troglodytism. They ultra fanboy with the ultra fanboy rhetoricisms, and they Rudy Poo and Plum Brainisms. Their brain to think that meant that Kell Brook was ducking him. No, it's just Kell Brook couldn't make the fucking weight no more. How about that? Motherfucker was a big ass welterweight to start off. He hasn't been fighting at welterweight for a minute. And when he did try to get the fight with Terrence Bud Crawford, it didn't come into fruition. Now Terrence Bud Crawford and them is hot and bothered like grits and was trying to push for the fight way after the fact, because they know they don't have no opposition. They fighting a Marvel character, Green Mean Machine. Let me say it again. They're fighting a Marvel character, Green Mean Machine, come December in Kavaliauskas. So of course they don't have no freaking options. There's no friends in the Hurt business, dog. Y'all could be friends later. Fight first, be friends later. Let me say it again. Fight first, be friends later. Shawn Gatekeeper Porter, Errol the Truth Spence is done with you. Now he's focusing on Danny Cherry Picking Garcia. He's going to systematically break down all of these guys that were ducking him. I see what Errol the Truth Spence doing. That's deep thinking. That's deep thinking right there, dog. That's three-dimensional thinking ability. He's going to dispatch all of these guys that were ducking him. The triangle. Keep throwing your asses next on the line in the chopping block, because that's what Errol the Truth Spence does. He does the heavyweight lifting. Bud needs to get off of the fucking couch. Stop fucking fishing somewhere in Omaha, Nebraska. Let me say it again. Get off the fucking couch. Stop fishing somewhere in Omaha, Nebraska, and start doing some heavyweight fucking lifting and come to the damn party. Because at the end of the day, you're the super fight. You're the undisputed fight at 147. So what is this rhetoric about him and Shawn Constipated Porter? They can't fight each other because they're friends. Let me let you in on a jewel. Let me let you in on a gem, because cats are always, copying He Knows the Sport. So here's something else for them to copy on, a new narrative. Because that's what He Knows the Sport does as a trendsetter and a natural born leader he is. He sets the fucking tone and set the fucking pace. Let me say it again. As the natural born leader and the trendsetter that He Knows the Sport is, he sets the fucking tone and he sets the pace. So let me set the tone and set the pace. Shawn Gatekeeper Porter and Terrence Bud Light Crawford are going to have to fight each other. Let me say it again. Shawn Gatekeeper Porter and Terrence Bud Light Crawford are going to have to fight each other, whether they want to or not. This friend shit is going to go out the door. Remember, He Knows the Sport was the first one to say it. Just like He Knows the Sport was the first one to say it's the Spence era. And just like He Knows the Sport, like the Tibetan Mastiff that I am, I keeps the foot on the what? On the necks. I keeps the foot on the what? On the necks of these Rudy Poo and these Plum Plum Brain ultra fanboys. Because we ain't got time for the ultra fanboy rhetoric. Guess what? Shawn Gatekeeper Porter and Terrence Bud Light Crawford are going to fight each other, whether they want to or not. Because guess what? Bud Light can't get no fucking opponents. And he's going to need credible opponents if he's going to stand a chance to fight Errol the Truth Spence. If Errol the Truth Spence is sitting here and continuously fighting the upper echelon, that's putting Terrence Bud Crawford from B side to C side to eventually D side stats. By the time Errol the Truth Spence get to fighting this motherfucker, it's going to be a 75 to 25 split. Let me say it again. By the time Errol the Truth Spence get to fighting this motherfucker, it's going to be a 75 to 25 split. That was so deep and profound. That was only for the deep pickers out here in these boxing streets that caught that. So in order for Terrence Bud Crawford to show that he's doing heavyweight lifting, he has two credible opponents. Since Top Rank don't get it, since Bob Arum don't get it, since Big Mac, aka Bull Mac, don't get it with his cheeseburger eating ass self, I'm gonna help your Bud Light ass out and help you out. I'm gonna show you what heavyweight lifting looks like. You need to fight Shawn Gatekeeper Porter, and you need to fight your Dennis Ugas. You do that, that's some heavyweight lifting. Let me say it again. You need to fight Shawn Gatekeeper Porter, and you need to fight your Dennis Ugas. Both fights before Errol the Truth Spence. At least you're showing that you're doing something. They're not for no damn belts, but they're very credible opponents. Why? Because look at the fight between your Dennis Ugas and Shawn Gatekeeper Porter. Shawn Gatekeeper Porter sitting here wanting to rematch with Errol the Truth Spence when he should be running that motherfucker back with you Dennis Ugas. Let me say it again. He's sitting here clamoring for the Errol the Truth Spence rematch, which we know Errol the Truth Spence tactical aggression, 9 to 3 rounds or 8 to 4 rounds at worst, versus ineffective aggression, beat his ass emphatically. When he should be talking about you Dennis Ugas, which is really the fight that could have gone either way like he said it was. That was the fight that you could say that. You're not rematching him, right? So fight Terrence Bud Light Crawford. Stop this nonsense about, oh, we friends, we need to talk to each other. Wasn't Errol the Truth Spence cool with you? Wasn't he cool with your dad? But Errol the Truth Spence knows it's a hurt business, and you in the way of legitimacy of him being at that upper echelon of being the big fish take little fish. Let me say it again. The big fish take little fish, because you guys are guppies at the welterweight division. So y'all need to fight each other. And He Knows the Sport is the first one to say this shit here. Them motherfuckers gonna be forced to fight each other because their options are thin, folks. It's limited. Where else can they go? Think about that for a second. You classic dotes and you troglodytes. Think about that for a second, you Rudy Poo and you Plum Plum Brains. Think about that for a second, you ultra fanboys with the ultra fanboy rhetoric. Their options are limited. So Shawn Gatekeeper Porter and Terrence Bud Light Crawford, y'all get the double higgity fucking hushes of the damn day. and go fight each other, you motherfuckers. Because guess what? Errol the Truth Spence, big fish take little fish, ain't stunting you motherfuckers. It's really that simple, folks. This is Hino's Sport, checking out.